Hey guys, we are back with the explanation of another PgMP scenario. But before that, if you have not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do that so that you get notified about the interesting project and program management content we post on a daily basis. Let's move to the scenario. This time, the scenario is about roles and responsibilities in the program management. So the scenario says that program manager is responsible for balancing the components and benefits of a program. Some programs are funded internally by the company, others are funded externally. When a program is funded externally, who is responsible for controlling the funding? And the option choices are steering committee, program manager, program sponsor, and PMO. So let's start with option A, steering committee. See, steering committee is a decision-making body in a program. By decision-making body, we mean the strategic decisions that we need in a program, like initiation of a new component or termination or closing of any other component, some changes that we may need in a program, like some shifting or some shuffling of resources, funding decisions, and investment getting process, phase getting a process, which is like a core decision making function in the program steering committee. So program steering committee via investment getting a mechanism, which is actually for the right allocation of fundings to the program manager and to the program management team. And with that, the steering committee as a group decide that how to allocate funding and how to assign the resources and the funds to the program manager, to the program team. So steering committee could be a good choice in this capacity. But let's check the other choices so that we understand that if we have a better option than steering committee. Option B, program manager. Program manager is definitely not a role in the program that controls the funding, neither internally nor externally. The program manager's role is to, first of all, to optimize and balance the program with respect to components, with respect to resources, with respect to different stakeholders and benefits of the program. The program manager is there in the program to make sure that the allocated funding and resources are effectively being utilized in the program, right? So yes, in that capacity, program manager is responsible for the allocated budget and the funds of the program, but he is not the core person who controls the budget in the program, right? At least not as per the best practices of program management. So program manager option is out. Option C, program sponsor. Now, sponsor is definitely a role which is responsible for funding allocation, securing the resources. The core accountabilities of the sponsor, apart from the funding, is to make sure that program is a success and the program benefits are rightly realized for the organization. He is the sole accountable role in the program. And accordingly, when it comes to accountability, the accountability lies with number one, the business case accountability, and number two, the funding, financial accountability. So being the accountable person of the program and the accountable person for the business case and its effective execution, as well as the funding and its effective utilization in the program, sponsor is the person or is the role. There could be multiple sponsors in a program as well, and in that case, you like by you I mean like the steering committee need to choose the executive sponsor who is going to be the ultimate accountable person. But that's like the other thing. But sponsor as a role is definitely accountable for the funding and for the investment related decision. So option C is better than option A when it comes to controlling and allocating the funding, and the resources is another form of funding in the program. So maybe someone would say that I just mentioned that program steering committee also aligns the budgeting decisions via investment gating mechanism. So how does that differ with sponsor controlling the funding decision? See, a sponsor is a definite member in the steering committee. In fact, a sponsor is the person or the role who chairs the steering committee, right? So a sponsor is part of the steering committee. A steering committee is a group, right, that may have other roles like business change managers or supplier representatives or program managers, advisors, policy makers, other members as well, like subject matter experts and all. So sponsor is a person who has that role and responsibility in the governance model for funding arrangements via the different funding sources as per the program financial framework, for controlling those funding, like how to allocate the funds and budgets in the program. And in that decision, the steering committee helps the program sponsor in making the right decision. But the ultimate financial decision is of sponsors. Right? So that is how option A is different than option C. If option C is not there and option A is there, then like steering committee would be the best choice. But in presence of a sponsor, steering committee is not the best choice for funding allocations and funding arrangement. One other thing that I would like to mention over here is being a sponsor doesn't make that role or that person the eventual investor of the program. The investors or the different sources of the funding could be there, and a sponsor is could be the caretaker of that funding, right? And a sponsor could be the sole or one of the investors in the program as well, right? So being an investor and being a sponsor are two different things, or could be two different things in a program. So with that, option C is a better choice, and option D definitely is not a choice, because option D, PMO, is not there for funding allocations or funding arrangements. So PMO responsibility is like to come up with the right processes and ways of working. It could be governance processes, it could be program management practices, helping the governance body with the right administrative and assurance support. Yes, PMO could be like one of the contributor with respect to decision making process for the investment. That is that is a possibility, but the core role of PMO is standardization, right? So PMO definitely is not the right choice. One other thing that I did not explicitly mention is external funding. Like, question is explicitly asking about the external funding, and its monitoring and control in the program. See, either internal or external, the role which is accountable and responsible for funding allocations is the sponsor. For internal fundings, yes, you may have some our sponsor probably could delegate the authority to steering committee or to to program manager to some extent, but that is again at his own discretion, right? Which means that he may assign the responsibility of some funding decisions to the steering committee or to the program manager, or maybe to one of his delegates, but that would not remove the accountability of funding decisions on his part. So accountability of the budget, funding, investment is, and its effective utilization is always on a sponsor, no matter what the funding source is. I hope you like this explanation, and if you did, please do like this video, and if you have anything to add, any questions, any queries in this regard, feel free to drop a comment. I will make sure to answer your question. I will see you very soon with another PgMP scenario. Till then, take care. Goodbye.